growing up, I probably spent more time at my local skate park than anywhere else in the world other than perhaps school or my home. So inevitably I've felt some sort of attachment to the place.
One of the things that I've always really enjoyed about skate parks is actually the time to be on my own and with my own thoughts, and to be able to disconnect from interactions with other people.
The park itself is not the best skate park around. It just happens to be that people talk to each other, encourage one another, and we may not know too much about each other outside of skateboarding, but I have trust in the other people at the park to have each other's backs.
I just really love how you're in this environment where there's lots of people together doing a similar activity, but there's no pressure to talk to each other. You know, you can sort of be in your own headspace a bit and just be working on tricks and practicing moving around and sitting and just being, and not having to justify yourself in any way, or not having to sort of do anything else.
I haven't been to my local skate park for 5-6 years because I've since moved away, and I think if I went back there now I perhaps wouldn't be as familiar with a lot of the people who use the space, and therefore I'm not sure I would feel attached to it in the same way I did when I was growing up, really.
Skate parks in general, I've often found I'd rather not be there. I feel like there's often a vibe of sort of don't talk to each other unless you've proved your skills.
Yeah, especially if there's a lot of people in the space who are not being thoughtful about who else is there and are not sort of taking their turn, because you do get that a lot as well at skate parks, especially when there's lots of people there. I think that sometimes people just take the piss and want to just use up more space as well, so that's sometimes quite difficult.
There's certain parks that I don't like skating at because the vibe and people are like, you know, not as open. You know, you rock up, they're skating hard and fast, and like you just don't feel like you can kind of slot in there. And yeah, it's a massive thing when people are just open and friendly and greet you when you rock up. I'd say that's the biggest thing for me.
The opening of the first local skate park was actually the reason why I quit skating. I had come out not too long before that, and in the excitement was not very quiet about it. When I went to the first local park, I was told by the people there that I wasn't welcome. Unfortunately, my friends prioritized skating at the new park more than they did continuing to hang out with me. Now, thankfully, skate parks and the social climate that they exist in have totally changed and become more inclusive. In fact, even I have been able to put aside different prejudices and issues that I've had with people who I would consider, say, normies, or having opinions that are more conservative than I am. Because we have this shared activity, it's a good place to create a sense of balance, care, and like shared activity, so that when you start having these conversations, you're not coming at them from two people who disagree with each other. You're two people who are enjoying the session and can take part in a conversation because of it. The act of skateboarding itself is almost like a meditation. You're tuckering yourself out physically, you're simultaneously hyper-focusing on the tricks that you're doing and also shutting off your brain to allow your body to do the tricks. I think that this creates interesting, therapeutic effect, I would call it, that puts people in a good perspective to talk to one another and to learn from one another.
If there are things going on that are upsetting, then I often find it difficult to want to skate and want to be there. So, and I know that's not the same for everyone. Some people find real escapism. It helps them to be able to disconnect from their woes. But I feel like for me, it's a space where I'm often in my head a little bit more. So that can be quite hard. And I think it's quite important to say that because it's a different kind of perspective. For example, like since the acceleration of the genocide in Gaza and Palestine, there was a long period where I didn't want to skate. I didn't want to go to the skate park. And I know some other Palestinian skaters felt the same as well. And not everyone. Some people really it was important for them to go and continue skating. But for me and for some other people, I think it is a space where you can reflect a lot. And probably that wasn't what I needed or what other people might want at this particularly terrible time.